How you doing, fight fans? I'm Timmy Shoes with Inside Fighting, and I'm here to hit you with that no-cap fight game recap. First things first, we didn't have any UFC event this weekend, but we did have the PFL handing out those $1 million checks and also delivering one of the craziest upsets in MMA in 2022. Kayla Harrison drops her PFL title to Larissa Pacheco, a person she had already beaten twice. Crazy mix-up. Harrison came into the fight as a heavy favorite and still dropped her title. 2022 has delivered the wildest upsets, right? We had Leon Edwards pulling it out of the fire against Kamaru Usman with that boom, headshot dead, head kick in the 5th round. We had Pereira. He was losing his fight against Adesanya, knocked him out in the 5th round. We also had Esparza versus Namajunas, the fight of the century. Esparza was a heavy underdog, and she won that championship fight. And it wasn't in 2022, but in December of 2021, we saw Juliana Pena. She choked out Amanda Nunes. So there's been some wild upsets in the world of MMA for championship fights. But Kayla Harrison, I don't think anyone saw that coming. It was her first loss in MMA. She's so good. Her manager, Ali Abdelaziz, once said, Kayla is so good, if she loses, I'm going to leave MMA. So she's lost. People lose. Fights aren't played out on paper. But Ali's probably going to stick around. So, next up, we had Artem Lobov. He is suing his former best friend and training partner, Conor McGregor, for a 5% piece of the $600 million sale of Proper 12 Irish whiskey. Now, why does Lobov believe that he's entitled to that? Apparently, according to him, he came up with the idea and he developed the brand, and he feels like he deserves a piece. So they've come a long way from the time when Conor McGregor was flying across the ocean to get vengeance for his friend after Khabib slapped Artem. And then Conor came to Brooklyn. He threw a dolly at the bus. They were ready to go to war together. And now they're going to war with each other. Man, the Irish and the Russians are fighting again. But the biggest blow in the MMA world this week was Jiri Prochazka pulling out of UFC 282, vacating his light heavyweight title because he messed up his shoulder bad. According to Dana White, it was the worst shoulder injury that the UFC docs have ever seen. Now, that didn't stop Prochazka from giving a 6-month timeline. He voluntarily vacated his belt. He probably walked into Dana's office with one arm like this, dropped his belt, and he's like, I don't deserve this right now, but I'll be back for it. I'll be back for what's mine, because that's just how Jiri rolls. Now, UFC 282 now has Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev for the light heavyweight title. That's not the fight fans wanted to see. Everyone wanted to see a rematch of Jiri versus Glover, which was the wildest championship fight that we have seen in a while. That is probably the greatest light heavyweight championship fight of all time, other than arguably Jones versus Gustafsson. So we're not getting that. Teixeira turned down an opportunity to fight for the title. He's going to sit out as well. So big shakeup to UFC 282. Jiri, we wish you a speedy recovery. We know you're going to be back better than ever. And yeah, we want to see that rematch with Glover Teixeira. So that's your no-cap fight game recap. We'll hit you next week, fight fans. Follow us on the socials. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, InsideFighting.com. You know where to fight us. We'll see you then.